Hey, so as some of you know, this past November I had the great pleasure of celebrating my 29th birthday. And on that special occasion, I thought back to the same day, maybe 3 or so years ago, where I was at my first job out of college, and I was working there for maybe over a year at that point. So I knew everyone, and people knew me. We had a sense of each other. And my birthday came along, and I just kind of kept it quiet. I didn't tell anybody. I didn't want to disturb work. I didn't want to disturb people. I didn't want people to take a break, to plan a meeting or a celebration for me. I just kind of kept it quiet. And there was a moment, I guess through Facebook, someone at the company found out and then told everybody the day after. And one of my supervisors, or just someone who was a bit higher up the totem than I was, pulled me aside and very, passionately, with great care and concern, she told me that, Troy, and I explained to her kind of like what I just said. I didn't want to disturb them. She said, Troy, you got to give people an opportunity to celebrate you. And that little sideline conversation, really it was that phrase, that sentence, that really stuck with me for some years. You have to give people an opportunity to celebrate you. And it really struck me because really it was a lesson that I didn't know that I needed to learn, right? It was something that was so unexpected, but it was so sharp because it spoke to my own human experience, particularly growing up, right? I grew up in an environment where I was kind of the head of the household, per se. And I've often found myself in a situation where it wasn't about how I particularly felt, right? It was about me wanting to get my family into a better situation. So it was about the mission, it was about the goal, it wasn't about how I felt, it was about how everyone else felt. And I would spend most of my time, if not all of my time, tending to what they needed versus what I needed. In that pie of attention, my sliver was little to none. And obviously that wasn't healthy, but it's what I felt I needed to do or who I needed to be. So when my birthday would come around, I would give it no attention. Obviously, family would say happy birthday or try to do what they can for me, but I just kind of didn't give it any mind. But when it was their birthdays, I would try to do what I can with the resources I had to make it a special day for them. And net, obviously, that doesn't provide you with a very healthy life or lifestyle or sense of happiness or joy. So when the supervisor said that to me, it really, like I said, spoke to me because it's something it was a lesson I didn't know I needed to learn, and it really opened my eyes to a reality that I needed to create in my life, right? Giving more people the opportunity to celebrate me. So fast forward to a couple of weeks ago, my birthday hits. I'm sitting down and I'm at this French restaurant with my mother and my brother. And there was a certain point towards the middle of our lunch where my mother, who is kind of, sitting to my right, but she needed to get past me to get anywhere in a restaurant, to the bathroom or outside. So she was trying to scoot me over, said, excuse me, and I kind of knew it on her face. She didn't have to use the restroom. I knew that. But I had a strong sense that she was trying to talk to the waiter to get him to tell him, hey, it's my son's birthday. Would love for you guys to sing happy birthday. I knew that was the case. I just saw it on her face, right? You know your family's faces and the intent behind it. So as she was trying to say, excuse me, I want to go talk to the waiter, I was like, Mom, don't do it. And I told her, I said, Mom, no, we don't want to cause a scene, just everything, right? It's a very petite, nice restaurant. I don't want to make noise. I don't want to disturb people. Again, the same things I was saying to myself when I was on this job a couple years ago. And my mom, she was like, you sure? And she said, you sure? She said, you sure about 2 or 3 times. And between the second and third time, I realized in those few microseconds that, Troy, this isn't about you, brother. This isn't about you wanting to protect the peace and not disturb people. This is about your mother or someone that loves you, that's trying to create a moment for you, that's trying to make you feel special, that's trying to do something that's within her power to give you a moment that she feels you deserve. And it will make her feel great as well to give that to you. So literally all that kind of hit me in those few microseconds, and then I said, you know what, Mom, yeah, go ahead. Go ahead, do what you got to do. And then I act like I didn't know what she was planning, especially after she pulled the waiter to the side. Like, she knew I knew what she was doing, but she still pulled him to the side to talk to him, which I found hilarious. But she speaks to the waiter, and she sits down with a little grin on her face, and we're eating food. A couple minutes goes by, and then I see her kind of like wave off or wave to the waiter, give him a signal, and long story less long, what happens, right? He comes out with a little cake or pie or something like that, and they sing happy birthday. And I remember at one point afterward, I turned to my mom, and she was just so happy that she was able to create this moment where she's singing, my brother's singing, the wait staff is singing, some of the people in the back are singing, and she was just so happy. So you really have to, I guess, from that example, just give people an opportunity to celebrate you. It's not about you. You don't always have to stand in the way of things. And it's really a lesson that I've made some intentional inroads to improve over these last couple of years, right? If it's my birthday, and I know that there's people who love me and support me, I'll let them know, right? These friends, these associates, whomever it may be. If I get a certain achievement or I hit a certain milestone, if it makes sense in the context of us meeting, like I'll share that, right? It's not about parading around like it's my birthday or I did this or I did that, but creating kind of an organic experience so they could know. And that's something that I've learned over the last couple of years. So, there's always room to improve. Even though I'm in a position where I do a lot more advising than being advised, it's very important to be kind of a lifelong learner, both in terms of, what you study in different textbooks, but also in yourself. And that's one of the biggest lessons that I'm very grateful that I've had the opportunity to learn over these last couple of years. Because here's the thing, like, when you do well by people and you do good by people, they're looking for an opportunity to reciprocate. They're looking for an opportunity, an occasion to give back to you. So don't rob them of that experience. So again, my coworker who said that to me, they may remember that, they may know who they are, and for that, I thank you so much. Thank you.
Happy birthday, dear friend.
No. It's okay. Take your time. This is part of it. This is all
the experience.
So good. When in life everything's perfect. Yeah. There we go.
Happy birthday
To you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Troy. Happy birthday to you.
Thank you all.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.